Hi guys, Linda here from Create Your Future, and I just want to pop on to answer a viewer's question thoroughly, a little bit more in depth than in a shorts. But before we begin, I do offer one-on-one coaching, so if you're interested, all the information is in the description box below, and also we do have a free course linked below on how to uncover your blocks and manifest fast. So I do suggest you check that out because it's a good foundation to kind of get the ball rolling. So let me just pull up here. Okay, so there was a video I created that manifestation is not woo-woo, proof that it works. And I actually go into that video with proof that it works, like research or like things to kind of build your faith and trust in the law. Some people think it's woo, like, energetic and this and that and in that kind of realm. And then there's like scientific proof that it works, like, epigenetics and neuroplasticity and rewiring your brain and all that. So I suggest you check that video out. Once again, it's called Manifestation is Not Woo, Proof That It Works. So under that video, someone commented this: I've been trying to manifest my ex-boyfriend for about 6 months. I've made small strides here and there, but it wasn't what I wanted. Now we've completely broken up. There's no communication left. I don't even have faith anymore. I feel like he's completely forgotten about me. What am I doing wrong? This is such a typical thing to happen. It happened with me. It happens with people that I've helped. It happens with friends. This is so common. So the first thing is circumstances don't matter. I don't care if you haven't talked in a year. I don't care if they've moved on. I don't care if there's a third party. Circumstances don't matter. So we really got to get into that, because what happens is a lot of times when we see this stuff in 3D, we're like, okay, forget it. Crap. It's over. It's done. Forget it. And people are taking 3D as final and concrete. It's not. Everyone and everything is you pushed out. So she was obviously having a fear that SP was going to leave. Maybe that she wasn't good enough. Maybe that people don't stay in her life. Maybe she felt like she wasn't chosen. I don't know. I haven't coached with her, so I don't know what her self-concept is like. But it's some type of thought, fear, story, assumption that she was thinking of dominantly that reflected out and created him breaking up and leaving for good, as she says. So the good thing is that if we change those thoughts, if we change those assumptions, those fears, those stories, and we focus dominantly to our new intentions, our new affirmations of what we do want, and we focus on how it can work and will work, rather than focusing on the lack and the things that are not working out, you too can change your frame of thought, your self-concept, your thoughts, your stories, your assumptions, and then that too will reflect in your 3D and bring SP back in the way you want, okay? So that's the first few things. Circumstances don't matter, and we really need to stop taking 3D as final, because it's always malleable. We're always going in and out of states, quantum leaping, quantum jumping, whatever you want to call it. We're doing everything up here first, and it's reflecting. So just know that, okay? I created that with my unfavorable thoughts. I'm going to go deep within, and I'm going to change that with my new thoughts, my favorable thoughts. Another thing is, she said, I've made small strides here and there, but it wasn't what I wanted. What we need to do is focus on what is working rather than lack. So those small strides, high five, amazing. I did that. I created that. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a yeah, but, okay? We are so focused on looking at how things can go wrong. We're so focused on waiting for the other shoe to drop, bracing for impact, too good to be true. We're so focused on that. That's like a self-concept some people hold because it's too good to be true. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's so many things that have happened growing up and things that we've heard that made us think like he should be doing more. It's not what I wanted. Now, what I would suggest is when stuff like that happens, A, you celebrate those small strides. You celebrate the movement. And B, you persist. You keep going. That's proof that it's working. It's proof that it's working. The 3D is always feedback. If it's not what you want yet, keep going. You're still holding on to some thought, some fear, something to not get the full effect, or to still keep creating some unfavorable things here and there. So you're going to persist into that. Another thing I like to say is, if it's not the end that you wanted, it's not the end. Who says that after 6 months he left and he's not coming back? Who said that 6 months is the period, is the time frame, is the mark to validate and reassure you that if it hasn't happened on this date, it's not going to happen? Who said that? Unfortunately, this person is giving up at this time. They're looking at time, which is irrelevant. They're looking at the 3D for proof. Maybe they're doing a technique and then checking their phone. Maybe they're doing a technique and then noticing he's not there. Maybe they're doing a technique and telling their friends, I still haven't talked to him, forget it, this is not working out, right? They're obviously getting thrown off that there's obviously a complete breakup now and no communication left. And she says she has no faith anymore. Therefore, or he, I'm not sure who this is, has given up. I feel like he's completely forgotten about me. So what you assume to be true will be true. If you are believing that you're completely broken up, if you're believing that there's no communication left, and if you're going to believe that he's completely forgotten about me, you're going to create an environment, a circumstance that's going to validate that. You're going to feel that way. He might say that. Somebody might tell you that he's no longer interested. He's not going to communicate. So we don't want to focus on that. Again, what you assume to be true will be true. Everyone and everything is you pushed out. I've said it a million times because that's really like the basis, the foundation of law of assumption, especially according to Neville Goddard. That's what it is. So what am I doing wrong? Again, without coaching with her and without knowing more information, not that you need coaching, you could get your answers from our videos. You can get your answers from a video like this where I'm answering your question. However, this is why when you have a coach, you can go back and forth. You have this conversation. Okay, how about this? How about this? What happened before? Well, what were you thinking? Oh, okay. It's a bit easier and a bit more tailored and a bit more accurate when you're actually having a conversation. However, based on what I'm seeing here, what I would say that she's doing wrong, and I say this because nothing is wrong, nothing is bad, nothing is this, nothing is that. It's your perception. It's the meaning you're giving it. Everything is neutral. You're giving it that label based on your self-concept and your perception of it. So what I would say that I think she requires support with is I would stop checking the 3D. So I would stop talking to friends about it. I would stop doing techniques and checking the phone. I would stop reaching out to him to see if he'll answer. I would stop all the 3D stuff. I would stop calling their friends. I would stop complaining about what happened. I would stop, driving by their work or whatever. I would stop having the inner conversation of this is not going to work. It's completely over now. It's been 6 months. It's never going to. Stop that. Stop all that 3D stuff. Ignore the 3D. That's what's meant by ignore the 3D. Well, Linda, how can I ignore the 3D? I'm living it. I see my phone is not ringing. We're not communicating. I see it. Ignoring the 3D means you're not going to focus on it. You're not going to let it rule you. I don't care what you're seeing, hearing, smelling, feeling, thinking. That's not the 5 senses there. That's not the problem. Ignoring the 3D means, okay, currently we're not talking in the 3D. Currently we're broken up in the 3D. Okay, does that mean it's final? It's completely over? No. How did I create that? What are the thoughts? How did I create that? That's the next piece. How did I create that? You're going to write a list of things like, I didn't feel chosen. I thought he was going to break up with me. I was worried he wasn't interested. I thought he was going back to his ex. Again, if I don't know you and we're not having a coaching session, it's hard for me to be specific. But I'm just saying, again, based on what this person has said, did I feel not chosen? Did I feel like he lacked communication? Do I feel like I'm not good enough? Men leave me. Relationships don't work out for me. I'm not good enough. I'm not prioritized. Write that list. It's completely over. It's been 6 months. It's not going to happen. We're not communicating anymore. Write the list of all that crappy, old, poor self-concept, negative stuff. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write another list beside it of the complete opposite. We are always in consistent communication. He contacts me constantly, consistently. We're in the most loving, faithful, committed relationship. I always feel chosen by him because he has come back to me because I am. I intend he loves and adores me. I intend whatever the opposite of that list is, right? So when you have intentions or affirmations, they have to pertain to you. It's not just this generic list of affirmations that you got off of like a YouTube video or this generic list you Googled. Yes, it may pertain to you, then perfect. You got the work done for you. But this whole point is you're not doing something to get something, okay? You're not doing a technique just to get something. You're doing these techniques to become something. You're doing these techniques to become the version of yourself that already has your desire. So in this case, they're going to become the version of themselves that is already in a faithful, loving, committed relationship with SP where they're communicating, they're together, and everything is great. They're no longer broken up. So what does that look like? If that first list is saying, oh, he's not with me, he's broken up with me, it's been 6 months, I don't think that's going to work, he hasn't communicated with me, What version of you is that? Is that the version of you that's in a faithful, loving, committed relationship with that person? Or is that the version of you that's still looking at 3D, that's still worrying, that's still wondering, that's taking 3D as final, that's looking for proof and looking for evidence, that's stuck in the 3D? Or does that look like the person that's living from the end and already has the desire? So regardless of what you see, you have to stick to the favorable story. I'm so thankful and grateful that we're in a faithful, loving, committed relationship. Our relationship is unbreakable. We have the best communication, and this guy will never leave me because I am good enough. I am prioritized. I am loved. Whether you're seeing that in the 3D or not, that's the intention, the affirmation, the state, the version of self you need to embody. Because remember, everything starts in the 4D first and then reflects out. So even when you were thinking negative things, chances are you had no proof that those negative things were happening. You didn't see something happening. You thought it first. You spiraled. You imagined it. What if, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, based on your self-concept or your past experiences. And then it happened. So same thing. The subconscious mind doesn't know what's real, fake, true, false. Is it a memory? Did it really happen? Did it not happen? It just knows what you keep implanting in it. So you're going to continue to do the new story. I love how SP contacts me constantly and consistently. We have the best communication ever. He calls me all the time because I am loved and chosen. I intend that I am the best thing that ever happened to SP. And this is why we're together in a faithful, loving, committed relationship. You have to keep going to that state. So yeah, ignoring the 3D, discovering the old crappy thoughts and changing them, focusing and embodying in the new identity. And yeah, and persist. If it's not your end, it's not the end. It's been 3 months, it's not going to happen. Who said that 3 months was when it was going to happen, or 5 months, or a year, or 6 months? It takes as long as it takes for you to saturate your subconscious mind with the new story. It takes as long as it takes for you to keep returning to the favorable story, the favorable state more often. And you might have hot, cold, in, out. They might come, they might leave again. They might come, they might leave again. You might get breadcrumbs, a phone call, but not a full commitment. It's okay. That's all movement. That is all movement. That is all working out in your favor. That's all the bridge of incidents that's going to lead you to getting your desire. The thing is, when it gets uncomfortable, people give up. When it gets uncomfortable, people say, forget it, it's not working. It's supposed to feel uncomfortable because you are reprogramming your mind to think something different, something uncomfortable, something unfamiliar. Maybe you're more comfortable with it's not going to work out, forget it. You know, dating coach says if they wanted to, they would have. And it's been 3 months, so obviously that's a sign it's not going to work. Like, we're so conditioned to believe all that garbage. But why is it so hard to say, nope, he's going to come back? There's lots of people that get back together. There's lots of people that break up and come back. People change their minds all the time. Focus on the new story. Focus on the favorable story more and just persist, persist, and persist. And celebrate those little things. They're not coincidences. It's not breadcrumbs. It's not little movement, this and that. It's all movement. Another thing I want to talk about movement is there's always movement. Even if you don't see it in the 3D, there is always movement. For example, when my SP and I were not in contact, I was at home thinking, what a jerk. He's not even thinking about me. Oh my goodness. Like, didn't even text, didn't even call. How could he forget about me? Oh my gosh. Like, after everything we went through, of course that ran through my mind. And then I got on track and I learned about law of assumption and self-concept and we went hard and whatever. Of course I got him back. That's, you know, the point of the story. But when he came back, he said to me, do you know how many times you were on my mind? Do you know how many times I had the phone in my hand and I was thinking to like message you or call you and then I just backed out? Do you know how many times I dreamt about you? Do you know how many times my kids asked to see you and I like was debating to call you or not? And I would say, well, why didn't you? She's like, I don't know. I just, this pull, should I? Maybe she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Maybe she's, so here's me at home thinking that nothing is happening. This guy doesn't care about me and has moved on. Meanwhile, look at the movement that was happening behind closed doors. He was wavering because I was wavering. I wanted to be with him. I didn't want to be with him. I was saying, what a jerk, he left me, whatever. But then I was saying, I'm loved, I'm wanted, I'm chosen. I'd have a great few weeks where I was doing all the techniques and really embodying the favorable state. And then I was followed by a couple of days where I spiraled and I was feeling crappy and I was looking at 3D and it didn't work. So I was wavering. Therefore, he was wavering. I was hot and cold. Therefore, he was hot and cold. And then until I stuck to it and I persisted and I was as consistent as possible, I still had crappy thoughts. I still worried. I still feared. I still cried. I still not as much because dominantly, you don't have to be perfect, but dominantly, I kept returning to the favorable story. I kept returning to the favorable story. I kept returning to the favorable story. I don't care what I see. Some way, somehow, I'm getting my man. This is what's going to happen. And I'm sticking to this. And eventually, he came in for good. And here we are. So, yeah, so those are just my little pointers of there's always movement, so don't ever think that there isn't. And what she was doing wrong. And I intend that not only did this video help this subscriber, but I feel like this is going to help a lot of viewers because this tends to be what happens. Most of the people that come to me have lost an SP and want to get them back. And they're getting hot and cold, some movements, some not. They're just learning techniques. Maybe they're watching a whole bunch of different videos, a whole bunch of different coaches. Maybe they've learned law of assumption from Neville, but maybe they've learned it from somebody else through their friends or other platforms. So yeah, I think this is going to clarify the basis of what you did wrong, what to do, what not to do in manifesting. And I feel like this is going to apply to a lot of viewers. And I intend this is going to help many people because like I see this all the time. This is usually the case when people still haven't gotten their manifestation in the 3D yet. So on that note, if you are experiencing this, and if this video was not as helpful or in depth as you would like I said before, you can sign up for coaching. That way we can actually go back and forth and help each other out, or just rewatch this video. And I have a whole bunch of other videos, and so many other coaches on our channel have great videos that can help you figure out what your next steps are to manifest. So again, on that note, enjoy your day and we'll talk soon. Bye.